This is the Millennium City, Gurugram. In the background, you can see there are skyscrapers, residential complexes. And here, right behind me, there are two shops that have been reduced to ashes by a mob last night. Last night, around midnight, these shops were set on fire by a mob that has been going around in several parts of Gurugram as a part of the communal violence that has been going on in the city. The violence happened last night. These shops, these scrap shops were set on fire last night. But today morning, the fire officials are telling us that because of the wind, some of the fire got triggered again. Some of the fire was fanned again because of the wind. And that's why they've come here to douse the fire again. As you can see, this looks like a scrap shop. That's what it is. There are several bottles here, several newspapers, other thermocol, several scrap stuff that's there here that has been set on fire. There are tires as well, all kinds of things that have been set on fire. Now this mob is using loose petrol and diesel to set shops on fire. These small shanties that have shops inside, that have scrap shops inside, they've been set on fire as a part of the communal violence in the city. And what we're being told by the fire officials here, that this violence happened last night and around 10 shops in this area of sector 90, in sector 70, I beg your pardon, in Gurugram have been set on fire. So last night in sector 70 of Gurugram, about 10 such shops were set on fire, including these shops of scrap dealers. If we talk about the violence in the city, in Gurugram till now one person has been confirmed dead, and he died on the first day of the violence, Monday night, when a mosque was burnt. A mob burnt a mosque and they stabbed the cleric of that mosque, and that cleric died on Monday night. Ever since, we've seen that yesterday also in the afternoon and in the evening the violence erupted again. Though in the morning the situation was peaceful, yesterday afternoon the violence erupted again, and there are fire brigade officials here, personnel here that are trying to douse the fire. Let me also point out here, as I've mentioned, that this fire is not this morning's fire. It was last night is when these shops were set on fire, and today morning the fire was fanned again, and that's why fire officials are here again to douse the fire. Today, till now, there have been no fresh cases of violence, fortunately, but in the whole of Gurugram, several such shops have been completely burnt, and it's concerning. These places are right next to the residential complexes of Gurugram. I'd ask my camera person to show you that there are several residential complexes right on the opposite side. There are several skyscrapers, buildings that house people here in the sector 70 of Gurugram, and right next to that these shops are being burnt. Residents from their terraces also saw this fire last night. We even showed you those visuals, and that has been the situation in Gurugram for the last couple of days. The situation is concerning. The officials here have banned the sale of loose petrol or loose diesel because that's being used to set such shops on fire. On the other side, schools in the Sona division are shut today as well as they were yesterday, while other schools in Gurugram have been opened. On the other side, work from home has been advised for several employees of MNCs in Gurugram, because Gurugram also has the cyber hub, several offices of multinational corporations, and they've been advised to work from home today because of this ongoing violence. And such shops being set on fire, these sporadic incidents of violence being reported. The violence started in Nu, which is about 60-70 kilometers away from Gurugram, and now the situation in Nu is peaceful, but clearly the violence has now spread to Gurugram, and there are targeted attacks here by a mob on the minority community here, and their shops are being targeted, their shops are being burnt, and in several places many people are fearing for their lives, and they've even shut their shops and locked their houses and left their places. In Haryana's Gurugram, with camera person Manoj Thakur, Priyanshi Sharma for NDTV.